If you do go to Heroes Con, a word of warning, I was walking through Artist Alley and I can't tell you how many times somebody would take one of my books, write their name on it, and then demand that I pay them if I wanted it back. I mean, who would do that? Oh, that's actually really cool. Welcome to Haul Yeah Comics. My name is Nate, and I have issues. And today's issues are books that I had signed by creators at Heroes Con in North Carolina last weekend, as well as some really cool original art that I've received from friends and community members, and even one that I had commissioned. Now, original art, especially original comic art, is not like it's not an avenue of collecting that I really see myself going down. For one, it's very expensive. There were a couple of really cool places at Heroes Con that had original art pieces. One was called Anthony's Original Art. I think it was Anthony's Original Art. I'll snip a picture and put a link to them below. What I liked about them was they had a big variety of types of art. Yes, they had pages, but they also just had, pieces or sketches. And some of it was, even though it was original, even though it was an artist that you had heard of and a piece that you liked, some of it was quite affordable. And then of course, there were other things that were not affordable. We saw a Jack Kirby page, and it was $100,000. So there were pieces that felt more affordable, like under $100, all the way up to like that massive bill for that Jack Kirby piece at $100,000. But it was just really cool. Anthony's especially had these portfolios based on character. So you could find a character you liked and flip through, and then, maybe they had something from an artist that was drawing the book when you really liked it. Like I saw a ton of Kevin Maguire Supergirl pages, and they weren't terrible. Like they were fairly priced. It's just I didn't go in with a budget for that. There was another booth that we went to, and this person also had portfolios, but they were selling basically just pages. They had covers, they had splash pages, they had interior, panel layouts, and these were, a lot of them were either pencils or they were already inked and lettered. There were just some really cool pieces in there as well, like some really old stuff. And it was just, there was a Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing page, and there were, there were Hulk pages that looked so good on their wall. And those pieces were, again, really expensive, but it was just wild to me that as just a guy going to a convention who, I'm sorry, I had no intention of buying any of those because they were just out of my price range, but I still had the opportunity to flip through those books and look at those amazing pieces of art. And there were just so many that we came across that it was an artist that you loved. I mentioned Jack Kirby, but I saw pages by Neil Adams, Kevin Maguire, George Perez. There was just it. If you wanted to see it, they had it. Whether you could afford it was something else. So even though I didn't buy any original art at Heroes Con, I did get some books signed, and stick around, I'll show those to you at the end. There's some really cool ones in there. But over the last couple of months, I have received a lot of original art from members of the comic book community and from friends as well. But I have received some really amazing pieces, and I've shown a few of these before, but I just want to take a moment and appreciate them again, and to let the artist who sent them to me know how much I love these pieces. So all right, so stick around for those signed books here at the end, but for right now, let's look at some original art. I have everybody linked below, so I'm going to start with Stevey D. Number one, subscribe to his channel. He is a great YouTuber, but he's been doing these portraits of people from the community and people who have channels that he watches, and he sent one to so many of us, and we all just love it. So this is Stevey D's piece for me, and the way I've got it, you can see he's got the filing cabinet back there, he's got my Superman poster, and he's got me looking at Silly Comics number 101, which sounds about right. I also like that Stevey included on the back these heads. These are like the alternate heads that he wasn't as happy with, and he ended up doing it over again. But this one here has a couple of phrases on it that are fun, like FOMO motto, "I'll buy that for $1 all day long," and "I'm so stupid I bought more." I think both of those things are statements I've made on either streams or in videos. Those are like for real. I am sure if you reach out to him on Instagram, he would probably be willing to do a piece for you as well. So if you have not received one of these and you want one, definitely reach out to Stevey D on Instagram and give him a sub. But this one has been behind my, on top of my filing cabinet as part of my display for a while. This was done by Adam from Up and Adam Comics. I think this is the first one he did. Like Stevey, he's been doing these for people in the community where he draws the person with the YouTube channel into one of their favorite books. It's no secret that I love Dazzler and that Dazzler #1 is one of my favorite covers of all time, and he put me in it as the Dazzler. And in the disco bubbles around, he put some of my favorite obscure characters. So we have Alf and the Ferret and Lois Lane and Amethyst, Princess of Gymworld. So this is, I mean, seriously, without a doubt, just like one of my, I've never laughed so hard, like with so much joy. The first time I saw this, I had no idea it was coming. This thing is incredible. So, like I said, I really need to get this framed up because I want it to look as good as possible. And Adam, you know, any chance I have to show this off, I always do. It just tickles me to no end. Please check out Adam's channel. You can also reach out to him on Instagram because if you want something like this, he's just been doing a lot more art lately that I've seen, but he's somebody else that I think you could get a commission from, and he would do a really cool piece for you. Up next is not a piece that I was given as a gift. This is a piece I bought. It was something that my friend Chubbs sent in a group text that we're all in, showing something that he was working on, and I loved it, like absolutely loved it, and I immediately texted him and asked if I could buy it. And he is the one who did the logo for, he did the logo for my channel. He does the little, you know, short box guy that is in the intro. He is a great artist who's worked in the art field for a long time. And so when I saw this and I loved it and I said, hey man, can I buy it? He said he just wanted to scan it so he could color it. So we worked out a price and everything, and he finished the piece, and then he scanned it and he colored it, and then he sent it to me. And this is what I bought. So this is his original, and this is like, you know, original. So this is drawn with ink and water soluble graphite. So he does the gray tones with kind of like, you know, kind of like watercolor with pencils. And I love the Turtles, love the Mirage era. It's just awesome. So I love this black and white piece so much, but in addition to the black and white piece, he sent me the color that he did. So he did the coloring using an Adobe program on his computer. He scanned the original in, and then he had this poster printed. So I got the print, like the color print, but I've got the original art too. So I just think this is freaking awesome. So you can reach out to Chubbs. Josh is his name. I can't call him that. I just can't. That's so weird. Josh. Anyway, you can reach out to Chubbs on Instagram at Faceless Cow and check out his art. He does commissions. He does, he's been posting these pet portraits lately that are really good. So if there's a character you want, you should check him out, reach out to him. I'm sure that you guys could come to some kind of agreement and you could get an awesome piece like this. And the last piece of original art that I have received recently, I did actually get at HeroesCon, but it was a gift from Eric at Sidequest Comics. So if you watch this channel, you know who Eric is. He's a member of the FOMO squad, and he has recently got into drawing again. He did a piece for Hagen that was Captain America holding Thor's hammer. He did a piece for Dope that is the Orb and 8-Ball riding on a motorcycle together. Eric did a video of the process of drawing Hagen's Captain America, and both Dope and Hagen had posted videos and pictures of Eric's work. So the one he gave me, it really does just blow me away. So this is done with pencil, pen, ink, and then watercolors. So this is the piece Eric did for me. This is Dazzler. I mean, this could be a comic book cover. This is so good. There's just the motion, the pose. I really love this. So Eric has started doing commissions. He did a Shockwave sketch for Matt at Impressed Comics that was just amazing. He's done these pieces for us, the members of the FOMO squad, and I've got his Instagram linked below. I highly recommend, if there's something that you would like, reach out to him and see if you guys can come to an agreement, and you could get some original art from Eric, which, you know, well worth it. So I am in love with every last one of those pieces. I think they are so cool. I really hope that you will give all of those guys a follow, and if you have any interest at all, please reach out to them and see if you can get an original piece done, because it's really cool to have something that's a one of, that is like meaningful to you. So I highly recommend it. Please check everybody out. While I didn't buy any original art at Heroes Con, I did get several signatures on things. And so I am going to start with one of my favorites, and this one was for my son. We got it signed to him. So this is Don Rosa. Don Rosa was there. I knew Don Rosa was going to be there. I wish so much that I would have taken my hardcover of Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, just one of my favorite stories of all time. But he had several prints. They were only 20 bucks a piece. And we really struggled to decide which one to get. I mean, he had like a deal on his multiples too. But in the end, we went for this one because we just, even though he had some of the covers and some, you know, some homages and things to other books, what we really wanted was we wanted his characters, the way that he drew them. And so this is, you know, a really nice character shot of Scrooge with so many of the characters who appear in the stories. And no, I cannot name them all. There's absolutely no way, but all of the Duck family is there. The major Duck villains are there. Everything from Don Rosa's era. So it was really cool to have, you know, I think we spent about 5-10 minutes at his booth just chatting with him, and then getting this poster. So this is really cool. A creator who I just absolutely love, and it was a really cool opportunity to have a chance to talk with him. So I did get several books signed. This one is super cool. This is a gift. This is Speed Force issue 6, and this one is signed by Mr. Justin Birch. Friend of the channel. He is a professional letterer, does a lot of work, and he lettered this book. So this was something that he brought with him, one of his comps, and he was signing them and giving them out to people, and I was lucky enough to be one of them. So thanks, Justin. I got my Simpsons issue number 1 signed by Bill Morrison. Now, I did actually want to get a signature and a remark, and this is where I'll again kind of talk about budgeting. There was a price guide that was put out, like how much each creator was charging for certain things, but this kind of blew my mind. So it was $10 to get a signature, but to get a remark on the book was another $75. And, you know, I didn't go in budgeted for spending that kind of money on art and signatures. I had some money that I knew I was going to get some signatures, but yeah, 75 was just, it was a bridge too far for me. And the Bill Morrison booth, they had a lot of like Simpsons and Futurama books, so you know, you could have picked up a back issue from him and had him sign it, but in the end, I was happy enough just to get the signature. So very cool, but you know, when you're going to Heroes, or you're going somewhere with a lot of creators like this, you do have to think like, how much of your budget are you willing to put towards that art or the sketches or the remarks, because that's going to cut into your budget to get books. But in this case, $10 for a signature, I was extremely happy with this. Up next, I've got Major Bummer number 1. Now, Major Bummer is kind of a cult classic. I think it is one of the like best hidden gem comic book series out there. I think it ran 12 or 13 issues. It didn't really take, even though it's a DC title, it didn't really take place within the DC universe. It's the story of a complete slacker who gets superpowers and becomes kind of like the most powerful, you know, superhero or super being on the planet. He's not a superhero because he's just a lazy slacker. And there was just something about that I really identified with in my youth. I can't put my finger on it. But this book was great. And back in 2003, I met the inker at Wizard World Chicago. His name is Tom Nguyen. And so he was at, like I said, he was at Wizard World. I talked to him. That was actually where I found my last couple of issues of this run. So that was like, that year, I remember going to his booth a few times and talking to him. And, you know, he was just a super nice guy, and he had some prints for sale. And I did pick up one of his prints, and I picked up 2 or 3 of his prints, and I still have this one, and it's signed. It's a little risque, sorry. But Tom did this, and so like I am thinking that you know, either through his website or Instagram or whatever, the next time we're in the same zone, I think I'm gonna commission something by him, because I have this, and with Major Bummer being one of my favorite books, I really do want to get like an original piece, so maybe a character sketch or something. And he is a very good artist, even though, you know, he's known here as an inker. I saw over the course of Heroes Con, he had posted on Instagram several people who had gotten commissions from him, and they were really good. So Tom Nguyen is somebody else who you should check out. I'll link his Instagram below as well. It was really cool to see him again, and this is not my copy of Major Bummer #1. It's kind of funny because I knew he was going to be there, but I didn't take my book. And then while I was digging somewhere, I found 2 copies. So I got one signed by him, and I gave the other one to a friend of mine, because I'm just trying to share the love of this series. If you ever come across this, check it out. It's not something that you see very often, but this was a really fun read. So this one's kind of funny. Mike Allred was like the guest of honor this year at Heroes Con. His artwork did the poster that they put on the t-shirt. He was the featured creator. And I really like Madman. I really like his collaborations with Mark Russell on Superman Space Age, and then Batman the Dark Age, and I think they're working on a Wonder Woman story as well that's going to be coming, so that's really exciting. So I've always liked Mike Allred a lot, and I took my Madman #1 to have signed by him. It wasn't until I got there that I realized his signature is already on it. I had this signed at possibly the same comic book show, the same Wizard World that I got the Supergirl art from Tom Nguyen. This was already signed. So I should have like still taken it to him and had him sign it a second time and maybe put a date on it. But the thing is, like, there wasn't enough time to do everything I wanted at Heroes. So like I kind of looked at it and was like, oh, that's done. And I just put it back in my bag. But I thought that was kind of funny that I took this book to get signed, and it wasn't until I got there and I was getting things organized that morning to go get signed that I realized this one was already signed. I don't even really remember having this done, but I think that's frickin' awesome. So Madman #1, signed by Mike Allred, not at Heroes Con, but sometime in the past, but still signed. So someone I was very excited to run into at Heroes Con was Zander Cannon, somebody who, for whatever reason, is a friend of the channel.
Well, if it isn't Zander Cannon.
Oh my gosh, hey, how you doing, guys?
How are you doing, man?
Good to see
you. How are you?
Good, you know.
And I got several items from his table and got all of them signed. So I did get my copy of Sleep #1 signed. This is not the cover that he drew, but it's a very cool cover. Issue 2 just came out last week, so you should pick them both up. This is his first published work. So this is Chainsaw Vigilante #1. This is also the first foil cover for a black and white comic book, for anybody who needs that bit of trivia taking up part of your brain. But I had this signed by him. I bought this new off the stand. I bought anything of the Tick back in these days. And I think this is 1993, 93, 95, 98, I don't know, somewhere in the 90s. But I have all 3 issues of this, and this is his first like published paid work, and he has been working ever since. When he was on our channel on the FOMO Squad, it came up that he made these promotional / educational comics in association with different government agencies. And I thought that was so cool, and he actually had some at the show, so I bought them. This was $20 for all 3, and they're really cool. They are signed by him. So we've got Space Weather. This one is put out with the NOAA down here. There is Journey Along the Field Line, and that one is in association with the National Geographical, no, sorry, I said that wrong. This one is in association with the United States Geographical Survey, which is very cool. My favorite one is this one. This is also in a partnership with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and that is Space Junk. So these books, you know, they tell the story of what it is that they're trying to teach about, and there's also like infographics and things in here, but it's made for a young audience. Like here's the There's an infographic there on Space Junk. So these are made for a younger audience, but I just think these promotional and educational books are so much fun. And it's really cool that he got to work on these. I'm not sure if they like gave them out on kids who went to tours of things, or sometimes these types of agencies go to like fairs. So I'm not sure where these were like distributed, but really, really cool. Something that he talked about when he was on our show, and I really wanted to have. So this was awesome. I was glad to pick these up. And then the last thing I got from Zander, I think is just so freaking cool. So this is like a homemade, like go to the copy shop and just make your own booklet. This is Master of Feng Shui. It's like a 8-issue mini comic about kind of like, like a Kung Fu master, but instead it's Feng Shui, the method of decorating. And it's funny. It made me laugh. What made me laugh more is he told a story about how he came across these people. It was a group of Feng Shui, I don't know, experts. And they were at the same convention or just crossed paths somehow. And he said, "Oh, I made a book about Feng Shui. It's a comedy, it's this." And he showed it to them, and he said that they could not have been more unimpressed. And that brings me great joy. So I loved it, but I loved him sharing that story about how he thought he could have a connection with people, and it worked completely the opposite. Zander is an awesome guy, very talented and creative. He has several books out there. Sleep is coming out from Image right now. It's going to be 8 issues. His book Heck you can get on Amazon, and as well as like Kaiju Max, and I mean there are several others, but those are the ones that I'm aware of right now. So Zander, thank you so much. Thank you for signing all of these, including Feng Shui Master. All right, my last creator signature is not one that I went and got. This was a gift given to me by John, JSS Brooklyn. You know him. He's in everybody's chat. If you're watching a live stream, chances are he's watching it too. He's an extremely supportive member of the community, very encouraging, a blue wrench on my channel. And if you have a channel that does live streams, you should go ahead and just add him as a moderator, because he's going to be there anyway, and he's going to do a good job. So he waited in line for Miss Jenny Frizen to get some things autographed, and I know Eric and from Sidequest and he, I think, got to chat a little bit while they were in line, but John got this for me. So this is the Jenny Frizen variant for the most recent Dazzler series. This is number 4. This is, I mean, that is one of my favorite covers from this run. It's a beautiful cover. It's amazing. Her signature really pops on here. And I know that John waited in line for 2 hours because Jenny Frizen never didn't have a line wherever she went. So I really appreciate this. I mean, a character that I love, a piece of art that I love, signed by the artist. It's just so cool. So thank you, John. I absolutely love this. And I have one last autographed comic book, but this one is not by comic book creators, or at least not comic book creators specifically. This was the book I took to have signed by members of the comic book YouTube community. So this is Superman issue 675. I mean, with the Superman movie coming out, and just with my affinity for Superman and Alex Ross, this felt like the right cover to take this year. And anyone that I ran into, the days that I had it with me, because unfortunately I did leave it in my hotel room, I think it was Saturday, which was about the busiest day to do that. But Friday night we had a get together, a lot of us, and I took it there, and that's where most of these signatures came from. And that's, to me, like what this whole Heroes Con thing was about. It was awesome to dig for comics. It was awesome to, look at that original art and, anything else that happened there. But what I really have brought back is like the memories. I don't think we stopped laughing from the moment we arrived. And I think this is the book that kind of encapsulates the experience for me. These are the friends I have made along the way of having this YouTube channel and just talking about comics, but it's kind of, it's become our little social circle, and these folks are pretty important to me. So I love anybody that signed, Anybody that signed this, I absolutely love it and I appreciate it. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. It was not my intent. And you know, wherever I go next, I'll take this or something else like it with me so that you know, I can continue this tradition. I've seen a lot of people have a page or a poster or a comic, a shirt, whatever it is. Like, making that memory, I think, is the most important part. So this is what I'm capturing that memory with. And yeah, I'm really happy with this and the chance I had to meet everybody who signed it. So those are the books I had signed at Heroes, and before that I showed you all this amazing original art that I've been, you know, given or that I purchased, and I just like to hear from you. So please give the video a like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, thanks for being here and checking us out. Please let me know, like, what piece did you really like of the original art? What about the books I got signed? Is there anything I should have done differently? Make sure to check out all of my friends who are linked below, and if there's a piece of art you would like to maybe have drawn by one of them, please reach out. I'm sure you can come to some kind of terms where you can get an awesome piece of original art, just like the ones I was given. So that's gonna do it. I appreciate you sticking around to the end of this one. I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. It's like a homemade at the Xerox store. Do they even have those anymore? Xerox? What are they called? Kinko's. My favorite one is also, let's try that again. So I saw pages by Neil. What was his name? Why am I blanking? Got a burp.